You know what I don't like? I don't like it when people have a child together and they split up, and then just because the mom had the baby, carried the baby, all of a sudden thinks that she should be entitled to like make all the rules and regulations when it comes to the child. Now, if you chose that person to be your life partner and you were with them for X amount of years, raising your child together, you should have no problem with the way that they did it. You guys did that together. So, you know, maybe he might do things a little bit differently because somebody else comes into his life after you guys. I'm sorry to all of you women out there that are feeling like an afterthought, but there's no reason for you to be bitter. Resentful, maybe, but bitter, and to actually put it out there into action when you're supposed to be helping your child cope with separation, with all of the feelings that come with it, and you're not handling it yourself well. It makes me sad for the child. It makes me sad that a child would have to see adults acting foolish. It bothers me down to my soul when kids have to see that. And like, you know, and another thing, like the whole dictatorship thing that I was talking about, how, you know, a woman thinks that just because that they pop the kid out, that they should get to dictate every little like life decision that that kid has, and just because the father sees their kid on the weekends or something and pays child support, that their decisions don't matter, or their like input doesn't matter when it comes to the decisions for the well-being of your child. My opinion is, if you're going to like charge somebody child support, you should let them have a say in that kid's life. You shouldn't walk around just feeling like boss bitch. No, this is not a dictatorship. You're raising a child. You're supposed to teach that child how to be. And if you can't be right to each other, then like, what is the point in trying to teach your kid anything? You're teaching them how to be a bad person, how to deal with people in a vindictive manner, how to put people down and make people feel like shit, or to hurt people. You're teaching your kid how to be a bad parent if that situation were to ever arise. Do you realize that they're going to look to you, ask you what you did? Do you really want to have to tell them that you were bitter and that you held them from their parent and that you made them pay and that you did all this stuff, but they never got a say? Are you willing to tell your adult child that when they ask you for an explanation, or when they're old enough to ask you for an explanation and they're old enough to understand a full one? I don't think that you're going to want to answer that. I don't think it's right for you to deprive your child of people that are willing to love them. I think it's wrong. And to all your bitter baby moms out there, what your child's father does, as long as your child's safety is not at risk, is none of your fucking business. It's none of your business. Absolutely none. And like, if anything, you should maybe stop hating on the person and like possibly get to know the person that's around your child. Wouldn't it make more sense to be friends, so that way you can have a smooth co-parenting experience for not only the parents but for the child as well, so the child can feel at ease when the parents are in the same social setting? It's not fair to a lot of kids out there. And all you bitter baby moms, well, instead of hating, learn how to appreciate people. Instead of hating and talking down to people and being hateful, because you see another woman in the shoes that you wanted at one point in time, and you're bitter because you didn't get that, or because you see another woman getting better from your child's father, or you feel like you maybe put a lot of time into forming them to be a better man. Well, good for you. Congratulations. You made somebody a better man for another woman. You shouldn't sit around being bitter about that, though. You should be happy that your child gets to see what family is like, even if it's not on your end of things. And I know that might be a hurt piece for a lot of you ladies out there, but start learning how to appreciate the significant other instead of hate on them. Unless they're doing abusive things towards your child, you have absolutely no reason other than the fact that they came into that person's life that you were once with. And how fair is that? For you to absolutely dislike somebody based on who they're with, not who they are, who they're with. And I just think it's really wrong for people to dangle their kids like pawns in front of people's faces. Oh, hey, look, if I don't have my way, then I guess that, you don't get to see your kid for the holidays. Boom. You know what? That kid is half of both of you. You both created that child. You both should have say-so. You both should not be trying to dictate anybody's behavior or anything in another house. There's nothing abusive going on, then you shouldn't. Nothing detrimental. Well, then you might not have a right to say anything or to be bitter in the first place. It sucks that relationships don't work out. But does that give you a right to make that choice for your child to not have a father? Just because the two of you didn't work out? No, it does not. It doesn't give you a choice to say whether or not your child should have both parents or not. There's a lot of children out there and a lot of mothers out there that would love for their child's fathers to be active in their kids' life and their education and their things, that they are important to them, and they don't get that. They have deadbeat dads. So when you actually have a father that wants to do for the child, and you're out there running around telling people nobody ever does anything for your child or spends time, it's a lie. It's a bullshit story. And it's really disheartening to see the world turning out like that. It's really disheartening to see how rotten people are and how quickly people are to jump on being judgmental instead of trying to talk things out. And all you babies' moms out there, your child's not an extra paycheck. If you have a child's father that is willing to do things for the kid, whether or not it comes from his significant other or not, thank you. That would be cool. Not, I'm gonna go take you for child support because I'm an ungrateful bitch and you ain't giving me enough. That's what a lot of women think, that they should have a paycheck just because they had a baby with somebody. If there's people providing both houses for the kid, then what's the problem? If the kid's being provided for, then what's the problem? I just think it's really sad that people parent the way that they do, being separated. And I think that it is very hard to deal with a bitter baby's mama.